Today we're going to make a creamy corn soup. It has a little bit of a kick to it and it's just really delightful. So we're going to start the recipe with, I already have 2 cups of pure water in here. And then we're going to take frozen corn. And you want to use organic corn anytime you use corn because otherwise it's genetically modified. So if I can't get fresh organic corn at the farmer's market or at the health food store in the summer when it's in season, then I buy frozen organic. And the recipe calls for 3½ cups, but we only put 3 cups in the soup and then we save ½ cup for the garnish. So we're going to put that in there, then we're going to take a nice, if you have little tiny scallions, you can use 2. We're just going to use 1 because this is a nice one from the farmer's market, which this is the season to get your produce with all of the farmer's markets that are out there in every community. It is so delightful to go and get produce that's grown right in the community. Local produce is the best you can get. Most of it's picked within 24 hours of them bringing it to market. So it's just full of a lot of nutrients, a lot more than what you would get in the store. Garlic powder, I'm going to put a teaspoon. And 1½ teaspoons of sea salt. And then normally I put a jalapeno, a whole one or a half one, depending on how hot you like it. It just has a really nice flavor to it, and there's just a little bit of a kick afterwards. But I didn't have a jalapeno today, so I'm going to add a couple shakes of cayenne. I do like to have that little bit of kick at the end. And then ½ cup of cashews. Now these have been soaked and drained. So there's more than ½ cup in the measure because when they soak they absorb the water, and so it's a little bit more. But if you used a dry measure of dry cashews and then you soak them, when you measured it again they're going to be bigger because they do absorb the water. And I'm going to put just, you don't have to use the oil. I use, this is organic flaxseed oil. I tend to use flaxseed more than olive oil because flaxseed has a lot of omega-3s and 6s. It's a perfect amount, so it's great for inflammation. Most disease starts with inflammation. So the more omega-3s we can get in our diet through a healthy form, the better off we're going to be. All right, so I just put a tablespoon in there, and that just helps emulsify it. So this is just a real quick and easy recipe. I like to blend mine till it's pretty smooth. With the Vitamix, you notice that I will pull it up like this. There'll be chunks on there, and then I know it's not quite done yet, depending on the texture that I'm looking for. So the smoother it is, the more I know. That way I don't have to take the lid off to figure out if it's done enough. And that's just about perfect. So before I started making this, I went ahead and chopped up some extra green onion that we're just going to put on here, the green and the white part, as a garnish. The soup is smooth, so it's nice to have something to crunch on when you eat it. And then just a pinch of corn and some chopped cilantro. And there you have Rawk'n corn soup. And this soup really does taste nice cold. If you wanted to heat it, you certainly can, but for summer, the jalapeno, like I said, adds a nice flavor, but that little bit of a kick, it just adds the spice, and so the soup doesn't, I don't miss the heat when I eat this soup. It's one of the favorites when I serve it.